Paytm has brought in some sort of pain to people by the end of this year. About 1,000 of its employees have been let go of. They've been fired. Now Paytm is making efforts to reduce cost. It is looking to get more into AI-driven solutions, looking to ramp up its efforts as far as its operations is concerned, and modernization and adoption of tech. But in order to do so, it needs more cash, and it is letting go of people. 1,000 people have been let go of.
Yeah. The employee costs of Paytm went up from 73% to 730 crores to 807 crores between the last two quarters, almost a jump of 10.5%. So they are basically rationalizing that. And mind you, company sources are also saying that they will be hiring as many as 15,000 people or salespersons on contract in the coming year. Most of the job cuts have happened in the retail banking, where the government laws and stringent regulations have come into play, and the focus of Paytm
let's spend maybe a minute to understand why the job cut. The job cut, 1,000 employees that it has let go of, or about 10% of its workforce that will be impacted, is by the virtue of that RBI circular warning NBFCs and warning banks to be wary of lending small ticket loans to people and increasing the credit risk on retail loans. So that has resulted in Paytm's books taking a beating. We know that Paytm has now withdrawn from small ticket lending. The buy now and pay later segment, those are in losses, due to which it had to let go of its workforce.
So their focus now is going to be totally on insurance broking and wealth management. So small, as you mentioned, small ticket loans, they're basically scaling it down to almost zero. They've already basically cut it down. So that, and the other factor is they're looking to save 10 to 15% of their costs by transferring operations towards artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is coming into play in the job scenario, even in fintech.
Absolutely. And there are two stories playing out here. A, the fact that many companies are now looking to restructure in order to incorporate AI into their everyday tech solutions and operations. That's number one. Number two is the startup story, and the fact that this is the biggest layoff, in fact, at the end of the year. About, more and more people, 1,000 employees let go, but this has been a continuous sort of trend over the year. About 28,000 employees have been fired from all startups across the board in 2023 alone, which is, it's in deep red when it comes to startups.
Paytm stands away from quite a few of the rest because their layoffs are not because of mismanagement. So their layoffs are because of regulation changes and their adoption of AI. And they are promising that they will be increasing their workforce in the coming year by 15,000, be it only in the form of contract employees, but they are going to increase that. So yeah, tech has seen layoffs in the last over here, and big layoffs, but Paytm, the layoffs in Paytm have not been due to mismanagement.
That is correct. But in fact, I'm looking at a report here, very interestingly. New economy companies, this report says, has laid off over 28,000 people in 2023 alone. And the major reason, as I mentioned, is restructuring by startups to conserve cash, to prioritize AI, essential operations. This is a Longhouse Consulting report pointing at very aggressive hiring, which was seen in 2021, sort of saw a downturn in 2023. So from 2021, when majority of the startups were hiring and the hiring spree was on at the peak of pandemic, that sort of saw a downturn in 2023. And as we close 2023, 28,000 people are fired across the board when it comes to startups, but 1,000 additionally from Paytm. What is to come would be interesting as far as startups is
concerned. It is basically a rationalization of market forces. Startups, while at one point were looking at valuations, now they are being forced to look at unit economics.
Absolutely.
So what they earn per employee, per cost per, what they earn, the difference between what they earn per unit sales, they are being forced to look at it.
Of course.
So that change has happened, and therefore this rationalization, and therefore they're cutting somewhere and they will be increasing some places
All
in the
right.
times
So
to
the
come.
impact of layoff perhaps we are yet to assess. Remember, the data from Longhouse Consulting is from January to September of this year. It doesn't account for the layoffs that have happened at Physicswala, at Paytm, in fact at Bizongo, Third Wave Coffee, Udaan, many of these employers who've let go of employees after September. The data does not account for that. So 28,000 fired alone between January to September of 2023. The data doesn't augur very well for people who are looking to either find a startup opportunity or to perhaps figure out an employment opportunity in one of the emerging or established startups in India. 2023 has not been very good for startup community in India. Will 2024 change that? We'll have to wait and watch out.